Well, as the voice of the cattle industry in Washington, D.C., the National Cattlemen's Beef Association fights for producers in Congress, in the courts, and at the White House. NCBA staff focus on the important issues so members are free to take care of their business back at home. We've got an update on what's happening in Washington in this week's Beltway Beef Spotlight.
Hi there, I'm Danielle Beck, Senior Executive Director of Government Affairs for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, and I'm excited to be bringing you an update from our Washington, D.C. office. As you may know, there's quite a bit happening on Capitol Hill, and our lawmakers are debating several key pieces of legislation at the moment. They are struggling to deal with how we fund the government for a full year, how we address the debt limit, which we're about to hit, scheduled for October 18th, and how we move forward on several pieces of important legislation, like a bipartisan infrastructure framework and a longer, bigger budget reconciliation piece, which is part of President Biden's Build Back Better agenda. The NCBA office has been fighting for our producers on a host of different fronts. In the bipartisan infrastructure plan, we've secured critical flexibilities and relief for our livestock haulers, which is a really important provision that all of our members will benefit from. There are also significant investments in broadband and a host of other priorities that NCBA aligns with. On the other hand, though, the reconciliation package, which we know has a host of human infrastructure investments, we've been really concerned about what those pay-fors will look like, and we've been fighting to ensure that those provisions are not paid for on the backs of our farmers and ranchers. There's a $3.5 trillion proposal moving through the House, and it's going to require about $2 trillion worth of tax hikes. NCBA was successful in preventing stepped-up basis from being on the chopping block. Stepped-up basis would be preserved if this bill were to become law. The same thing with like-kind exchanges, which we know is another critical provision in the tax code that our producers rely upon. Right now, it's unclear what the path forward will look like. There's still a lot of negotiations happening. There could be changes made to the reconciliation bill in the Rules Committee in the House, or the Senate could take that up and make amendments. Right now, we're in a really good spot, but we are asking all of our producers to engage to ensure that changes aren't made to the death tax, to the stepped-up basis, to like-kind exchanges, and so many other tax provisions that our producers rely upon. If you're interested in engaging, please visit policy.ncba.org. That's an easy portal to allow you to reach out to your members of Congress directly on these issues. In the meantime, please stay tuned, keep listening to Beltway Beef, our podcast, and follow policy.ncba.org for updates.